since this bottom lane will be hard, and don't be fooled by the last hits, by the way. The Plague Wards count as CS, and I just saw Funnick at least killing 2 wards there, so they are worth way less than lane creeps. So if it looks like Funnick is doing really well, he isn't doing as well as it looks. And that's nothing against him as a player or as his performance in this game. This is just a really hard lane.
Stun top lane. Actually, it's a double stun. Illusory Orb to follow. Vengeful Spirit getting the last hit. Luna gonna live to see. Oh, Kobos actually comes in with the Illusory Orb. Wow, Luna is in a ton of trouble. He's gonna try to tango his way out. Uses
wow,
2.
load of big plays.
Oh, but the stun.
Huge plays.
Okay, TP's coming in. Puppey's actually completely out of mana. He's gonna take a cold feet to the face or to the feet. Either one. Either way, he's dead one way or another. And Loda's actually back because Kuroki's completely out of mana. Nice Ice Vortex slowing him down. This is going to be a death one way or another. And Luna getting the last hit on that bad boy.
What a play.
Great turnaround.
Yeah, that was amazing. And now Ake actually is going to he's going to safeguard the haste here for S4. I thought he was going to take it and try to pursue Funnick here, but couldn't really have killed him. He doesn't have a point in Berserker's Call yet, so doesn't want to go for that. But that was just really well done by Loda. And I guess in a sense you could kind of, you know, it gives you flashbacks to the grand final of TI3, the last game where Hrost is 1-on-3. It was kind of the same there, and Loda just juked them around. It wasn't to the same magnitude, but still really well played.
Aki getting completely caught out. He's going to take 2 stuns, and I'm sure Funnick's coming around to ensure the kill one way or another. He's going to complete. Oh, he thought he was going to block them, but either way, getting the kill. Lion actually getting the last hit on that one.
And that was just the ward from Na'Vi right there. This ward. They saw him coming in, they pinged him out, and they got in position for it. So Aki actually wanted to stab there. It's now Funnick. Funnick's dead. The question is if they get the deny. He won't have mana to TP home in time. He might actually try it. No, they're going to deny him. Easy deny for Puppey here. And yay!
Bunch of prizes for everybody.
To Solo Feeder, Ho-Ho, and Sydney Richfield.
I want to get something.
Yeah,
I've seen that casters get stuff sometimes, but...
How the hell is EGM almost level 6?
Dendi here.
Oh,
looking for somebody. I think he was thinking Tinker might be stacking the Ancients, and it's just not the case yet, for whatever reason. In fact, Tinker is going to be getting ganked here. He has 2 in March of the Machines. Pops the haste. Definitely enough to get away. Very nicely done as Dendi just completely harassing. And that's the great thing about Ember Spear. You can harass from a range. Just does so much damage and very little risk involved playing that hero a lot of the time, especially once you hit level 6.
Actually, should point out though, one thing that's really important about this game for Alliance is laser from S4, because the way Flame Guard works is Dendi's actually going to get the rune here. The way Flame Guard works is that it blocks magical damage until you've absorbed the max amount, and then the Flame Guard breaks. But it doesn't block pure damage whatsoever, so the laser can finish Dendi off even when he's inside the Flame Guard. It goes completely through it. And that's really important, because this hero has very low health, and the main reason he can stay alive is because of the Flame Guard. But with a level 4 laser doing 320 bursts, suddenly Dendi needs to be a lot more careful with how he plays in these fights, because at the moment, if there was a level 4 laser on S4, that would be half Dendi's health, just dropped down with 1 click. And we're going to see if S4 actually prioritizes that. For the moment, he's going for March. I'm curious to see, as his secondary, if he wants to max the Heat-Seeking Missile or the laser after that.
Well, Boots of Travel, still a ways away, obviously only 7 minutes in, but... I've seen it around 10 minutes for S4, so I don't know if that's going to be the case this time. Probably not. Either way, Kuroki thought he was going to be counter-wording, but doesn't have any sentries to speak of. S4 trying to deal as much damage to Dendi as possible thanks to the March of Machines. Of course, that is... that's composite damage, so I don't believe, even with that skill, Ember Spirit's Flame Guard doesn't block that
Flame Guard
either.
blocks that, actually.
Does it?
It should, yeah. The
composite...
pipe blocks March. Oh, Rocket as well as Aeol. Oh, they're going to be a little bit off the mark there. I think Na'Vi saw that flying since EGM was kind of visible on the lane when he threw it. So Dendi's going to avoid it very nicely here, and actually turning on S4 a bit. Does not want to commit at this point. Now he does. Oh, maybe not.
I thought, you're right. He could have gone. Yeah, he could have gone in and dealed a lot more damage if he wanted to. But I think what he's worried about is really Axe in the jungle, and that's kind of the strategy that they're working with here. And you always have to keep that in the back of your mind. Obviously, he doesn't have a blink or anything like that. But of course, Battle Hunger is something to keep in mind. It helps with move speed, helps with chasing. So when heroes have relatively low move speed like right now, it's going to help quite a bit overall. As we're going to see a gank attempt by Na'Vi. At least they're grouping up to do so. They're getting pinged out by, I believe that was Puppey who pinged that actually. But they're going to be spotted out thanks to the Ice Vortex from Ancient Apparition. Bottom lane though, Bulldog's going to be pushing a bit and Funix is going to attempt. Oh, he's going to miss the Gale, and actually, he pops his haste. So this might be a dead Admiral Bulldog. Apparently, Ember Spirit kills Tinker in the mid lane. Funix, oh, he goes down to the Eclipse. Loda, beautiful timing. Able to get that trade. Wow.
That was a really important TP. When you can make a TP with your carry and you can avoid one of your allies getting killed and get the kill yourself like that, that's really good decision making. Loda at the right place at the right time. He's even going to get the tier 1 tower if Na'Vi don't TP down here, so beautiful play by him. And Loda's looking really good in this game, and I feel like for this Alliance lineup, he really needs to be the big player here, because the rest of their heroes are, with the exception of Axe, fairly squishy, and they're playing against sick amounts of burst from Na'Vi. They have such an aggressive lineup, but they don't have real late game apart from Ember Spirit. So Luna can carry it later on. S4 is going to be in a lot of trouble again. Does get the March off. It's actually going to do really good damage to Kuroki.
Yeah, Kuroki might go down to the March. Nope, not looking like that's going to be the case.
Actually,
get a free kill.
A little bit closer than I thought.
Either way, it's, I mean, way in favor of Na'Vi, even if he went down, but doesn't do so, obviously. So, but Navi's doing a really good job with smokes this game, ganking left and right. Dendy picking up... That's true. Ember Spirit picking up Arcane Booth. Hey, that counts for something, okay?
The ganking left and right in the mid lane. They came from both angles as AA actually gets a solo kill on Lion. That was a beautiful snipe here by EGM. You can see, double-click the line and see where he died.
Yeah.
Just outside, between the tier 2 and 3 tower in the mid. Very nice snipe by EGM. Didn't even see that coming. And now they might actually turn on Funnick here.
Yep, Funnick taking a Lucent Beam, Cold Feet. I don't think he's going to be able to proc it, though. He's going to attempt to run away, and actually he's doing a lot of damage with that Astral Spirit. AA ult up, somehow up again. It grazes Funnick as AA goes down to the Elder Titan. Good lord, I can't even believe that happened. His Loda's going to get turned around as well. Wow! So they end up getting a double kill out of nowhere. Great TP support.
Funnick survived that with so little health. Very well done by him. And the timing there from Dendy. Loda was mid-cast animation on the Lucent Beam when he got ensnared by the Searing Chains and therefore didn't get his cast off. That was so well done by Dendy. The timing there. Beautifully saving Funnick. So another nice play from Na'Vi, who are looking good in this game. Although they're behind on both gold and experience, I still feel like this is a lineup that can deal with it because their mid-game is just so explosive. It's completely crazy what these heroes can do in the mid-game, but they really need to make use of it. If they play a passive game, they're going to lose. They need to get their golden experience with kills. The farm is easily going to go in the favor of Alliance with both the Axe in the jungle, a Tinker with March, and a Luna in general. Will easily outfarm the Na'Vi lineup. So we're going to see how they deal with it, at least for now. Looking okay, but they need to keep the pressure on.
Yeah, Khavos, we haven't really seen much from him this game, which is kind of weird for a Puck, but of course he's kind of stuck in this top lane all by himself. Typically, if you're mid, you can get rune control and actually gank a little bit. Khavos, though, taking Battle Hunger, he actually got rid of it immediately. AA ult's gonna hit him. Oh, a nice phase shift, though. Culling Blade almost went out, but I don't think that would have been enough to kill him. Perhaps
Shatter
it was.
Actually hit. He could be dying from this. This is a level 4 Battle Hunger.
Oh, wow, yeah, he's dead. Okay.
Khavos is dead if he doesn't TP.
Of course, you
here.
can't deny that.
He doesn't get the kill.
Oh, let him get the kill. He does! Cold Feet, though. Beautifully done.
Very nice by Kuro, though, to not get the kill there. But AA still managed to get the Cold Feet off.
Getting trades when it wasn't even really a possibility, from my eyes at least. So that's really well done.
Dendy now sneaking around. He's level 11, wants to go here on Bulldog. And let's think about this for a second, because Flameguard is a special ability in the sense that it's defensive and aggressive at the same time. You want it to block the damage, but at the same time you don't want it to break. So the ideal scenario for an Ember Spirit is that you take 499 magic damage, right? So that you keep it on, but it doesn't break. Then you look at Alliance's lineup, and you're like, it's great that it can block all this magical damage, but they have so freaking much of it that Dendy's Flameguard's just going to disappear in the fights, I think. There's March, there's Rockets, there's AA ult, there's Venomancer Ultimate, as well as Gale, Lucent Beam, Eclipse, Battle Hunger. I mean, if Dendy goes in, he cannot stay in the fight the way you usually want to do with Flameguard. So I think Dendy is much more reliant on Sleight of Fist as his damage source in this game. Even though we're only 12 minutes in, this is a terrible Flameguard game, I think.
That's a good point. I mean, do you think this is a game perhaps he... I mean, they don't have a ton of lockdown, obviously, but a BKB would dissipate all that damage, obviously, until Luna can get some absolute right-click damage coming in. Either way.
I think BKB could definitely be a choice here for him, but not as a first item. Bulldog.
Right.
Actually, what is Na'Vi trying to accomplish here? I'm not sure who they're looking for right now. They do have the better vision. Okay.
Okay.
They don't need to look. Ake's gonna blind them.
Sir.
Goodbye. Easy kill.
DD was popped for that as well. Dendi getting the last hit. And not sure if they're going to try to push this tier 1 mid. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case, as Venomancer has just put an army of Plague Wards up. These are so good, and people forget
now
that
they can't fight in this.
Yeah,
I think
they definitely can't
they
fight.
need perfect execution to fight in these Plague Wards. If Admiral Bulldog just gets his ult off, he even has a mech as well. I think they have to concede this tower. Na'Vi are out of position for this fight. At least, yeah, it doesn't seem like they want to try to defend it either. That's a big deal. That's the mid-tier 1. And Alliance's lineup is just so good at sieging. With March and Plague Wards, you're almost impossible to initiate into. And then you just look at what happens when they get their items up. And it gets even worse. And actually, feels like a little bit of a waste of a glyph unless Dendi can make the big play here. He doesn't. He's gonna jump out immediately here. And AO easily defended the bot lane for Alliance, so they basically get a tier 1 tower here for no exchange for Na'Vi.
Yep, and looking at gold per minute and net worth, Venomancer is top of the charts right now with that full mech completed as Ake again getting caught out. Astral Spirit along with Impale and Finger of Death directly to the gullet.
Alright, so let's... Finger of Death level 1 does 600 damage, right? And then you have 25% reduction. And then you're standing next to Natural Order, and then you don't. So it actually deals 600 damage, this Finger of Death. It's kind of sick when you're together with Elder Titan. These two together can solo kill, yeah, okay,
dual
kill
like pure damage now.
Any hero on the map.
Essentially.
Yeah, it really is. It turns magical damage into pure damage, unless if they have some sort of resistance on top of the base. Puppey now, in trouble. He's taking a lot of damage. Actually gonna get slowed by this Plague Warden. The AA ult.
And goodbye, Puppey.
Perfect aim. EGM the sniper. He seems to like these sniping heroes. We've also seen him playing a beautiful Mirana earlier in this tournament. He was definitely the MVP of that game. I had another point that I wanted to bring up, and it is Dendi as well. The way Fire Remnant works is that when you throw them, they fly at 2.5 times your current speed. So you need to be really careful with not needing to throw them in a situation when you're slowed up, because then they travel so slowly that you can't really get out with them. So Dendi's going to be in a position where he needs to either have them precast as a means of escaping, or he needs to face that they might need to travel really slowly in the fight. If he's hit by Gale, if he's under an Ice Vortex, or if he's under Battle Hunger, all of those effects will make him slower. If he has all of them on him at once, this Fire Remnant travels slower than base hero move speed.
Oh, Loda getting caught out. They could use the Illusory Orb. No, I'm sorry, the Dream Coil if they wanted. Eclipse is actually used. And Dendi gets the kill, so he lives to see another day thanks to his ultimate again coming in use. Kuroki, the Gale's going to miss, and the Cold Feet's not going to initially proc. Double Impale, there's the Dream Coil on 2, though. He could have gotten on 3, but didn't choose to do so, as Bulldog taking a lot of damage. Oh, wow. That is like, you rarely see that spell actually proc correctly, as Bulldog is in a lot of trouble. He's going to go down, but it's going to be a trade thanks to Golden Blade. Dendi going down to the Rockets, not able to get away from his ultimate. Funnick getting caught in between an actual sandwich, not an European sandwich, but he gets out of it because he bites right through like nothing else. As the Rocket's going to destroy Lion. Funnick's going to be the last survivor in that engagement.
Alliance tried to play them a European sandwich, but they got the American version the other way. Na'Vi best team USA.
So good.
Well, that was a crazy fight. And again, I feel like Dendi's timing is insane. Ake was in the middle of throwing Calling Blade on Dendi, and he gets Searing Chained, and it disrupts the cast of Calling Blade. So that disallowed Ake from getting the second Calling Blade off and kept his momentum in that fight going. They did kill Dendi with the heat-seeking missiles, but it still changed the outcome of the fight because Ake had to move differently in that fight. And I just feel like Dendi, for now, is, like I said before the game, he is an exceptional player on this hero, and he's showing top-tier play in this game.
Absolutely. Some item progressions, because we haven't really done any of that yet. Of course, we talked about the mech on Admiral Bulldog, who's now going for an Aghanim's Scepter. And, of course, we don't see a farming Venomancer all too often, as he's going to take a Searing Chains, but we'll live to see another day. We saw Blink Dagger on Lion, though. That is huge pickup on Kuroki. Of course, considering that he is the... Is he the... Okay, he's the secondary support. Okay. Yeah. So Puppey's the one with no farm. I guess that's pretty typical overall.
That's how they generally do it. As in mid lane, actually, Alline's going to get completely caught out here.
Does Elder Titan not have his ultimate? He hasn't leveled it yet. Level 12. That's really weird. He could have gotten perhaps 2 kills there.
Yeah, if he had 1 point in his ultimate, I think they could have gone for that. That's very true. Now, Vost is thinking about it. He's going to go in.
Dream Coil only on one though, as he's getting cold feet. He's gonna get out before it procs. This Axe is gonna be the first to fall, but of course ends up being a trade. Puck going down. EGM trying to do as much damage before he goes down. Either way, looks like Funnick's gonna be the one that actually drops his Dendi. Doesn't have his ultimate up, it looks like. So he will use Sleight of Fist to stay alive a little bit longer, but will not live long enough. KuroKy, the last to survive in this mid lane. Of course, I don't even think he was part of that. Of course, he has his blink. He's going to use his finger directly in the gullet of Venomancer.
Oh, he's so dead for that, though.
But
I bet it still feels good, though. Oh, maybe not.
The Urn's
need
going to
another
prevent his blink.
vortex. There's not enough. Oh, there is the mana.
Not enough damage. Okay.
He can blink now. Yeah. Actually got away with that. Very nicely done by Kuro here. But Alliance, I feel like the best quote for this is, the moment Puck jumped in and did that one-man Dream Coil, the first thing I was thinking in my mind was, I immediately regret my decision. That was like the first thing that came to mind, because he cannot afford to commit his hero to Dream Coiling Axe alone, who's the most tanky hero on Alliance's side. That's not going to turn out well for them in that fight. And then after Alliance committed to that, or sorry, Na'Vi committed, Alliance just easily turned it around on them and got a 3-for-1. Kuro salvages it a bit with that solo kill afterwards, but it was on. I got the Veno actually, so it is a core. As weird as that is to say, Veno is a core in this game. But this is looking very, very good for Alliance. And from a spectator point of view, this is of course amazing. I would love to see a game 3 in this series.
The experience is pretty even overall. Oh, where? Which lane? Tell me. Okay, top. Ooh, got the tail end of that one. Tell you what.
Radiant's top tower
overall, though, the gold is definitely in favor of Alliance right now. But experience overall pretty even, so. Navi's still in. I mean, it's not horribly in favor of Alliance either way. But you're right. The Dream Coils need to hit more than one person in these fights. And in fact, he had an opportunity in the fight previous to hit 3, as I talked about, but only hit 2. Not sure if that would have made any difference in the actual fight itself, but either way, something to think about.
Puppy's drawing a line for Roshan. He drew a little bit of a spiral as a path in there. And I think this is a classic Na'Vi play. If things aren't exactly going their way, they make a big play at Roshan. But I think they need to be really, really careful against Alliance's lineup. If you look at this game is going to be so hot in the Rosh pit. The two teams just have amazing Rosh abilities. Elder Titan is crazy here. Ember Spirit is crazy here. Puck is crazy here. And then you have Alliance, March of the Machines, everything about Veno, AA Ultimate, Eclipse.
And eventually Axe when he picks up his Link Dagger. But
when he comes in, yeah, he's going for the tank. Oh, AA Ultimate. Actually going to be a little off the mark here. EGM overshooting it a bit. I think this might give Na'Vi the confidence to stay in here, although they are getting scouted out. I don't think Alliance will be on time. This is going to cut really close.
They should get it. I would at least think so. Ember Spirit's going to want to pick it up as Funnick looks like he's going to drop before anything happens here. Puppy getting off his Howl of Terror to no avail. Dendi has the Aegis, as you talked about. We heard a Culling Blade go off in the meantime. Aegis is going to be used immediately. Are they going to be able to surround him? Doesn't look like they want to. March of Machines is going to force him out as he uses his Sleight of Fist and his ultimate to get away. I'm so sad.
I don't think that was worth it for Na'Vi. They got Roshan, but the only thing they got from it was the gold. They lost the Aegis immediately, they lost 2 heroes, and they're going to lose a tier 2. This is... When they got scouted out, these are the hardest calls, some of the hardest calls to make in Dota always revolve around the Rosh pit, because it's hard to estimate how long time you exactly need to do it, even though they had the Vengeful Minus Armor and the Medallion. It was hard for them to... Oh, Vost actually really confident here.
Puppy thought about swapping, but of course...
Tower. Really surprised if Na'Vi actually managed to hold this. AA Ultimate. Gonna hit Dendi only. He has Flame Guard on cooldown, but yeah, that's all gonna come from that. I still think Alliance came out ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Na'Vi had a lot better potential to kill Roshan with all that minus armor, but of course they only had 3 people attacking him, and it's probably the right move because they wanted to make sure they had counter initiation available. But if they had put one more person in the pit to start with, 4 people, they would have killed Roshan a lot sooner, and then that wouldn't even happen, I don't think. And actually, I was talking about Howl of Terror. It was level 3, so I was assuming it was actually a low level, just because he's only level 9. But choosing to max that out along with the aura and leaving the stun only level.
This is something we generally see both Puppy and Kuro doing on the Vengeful Spirit. A lot of other Vengeful Spirit players kind of stick to always maxing out the Magic Missile, but in some games it just makes a lot of sense maxing out the Aura and Wave of Terror and just keeping the stun on level 1, because when you look at the stun, what scales about it mainly is the damage. The duration scales by 1/10 of a second per level. It's terrible in stun duration scaling. And it costs more mana per level as well, which you shouldn't underestimate. Actually, is kind of important. So we often see when Na'Vi feel like they don't need the burst from that spell, they max out the Wave of Terror and Vengeance Aura, which give them a lot more teamfight potential and potential to do Roshan as well. When they're dire, that's really a good choice, I feel, here. But with that said, S4 got really countered in mid. He was 0-3. He's now leading the net worth by 2,000 gold ahead of Loda, who is second for Alliance. And if Na'Vi, we talked about how they need to execute at this stage of the game. If this stalls out, I've got all my money on Alliance.
Oh boy, Puppey. Don't walk in it! Oh no! That should be enough. He needs about 100 HP, and down goes Puppey. I wanted to talk about the Aghanim Scepter, which is now complete on Admiral. I think we had a conversation about this previously, how I'm not a huge fan of the Aghanims on Venom, but this game in particular is amazing because you combine that with the AA ult. If you can hit everybody with that, I mean, that is a one-team fight right off the bat.
It's often, when you're looking at Veno, it's often the question of whether you get the Veil or the Ags. And if you do the math for both Veno and Sand King, you deal more damage with the Veil upgrade than with the Veil than with the Ags upgrade. Then it's all about what stats you gain, etc. But in this game, it doesn't matter, because Bulldog will get the Ags since he's in a core position, and EGM feels like, okay, in this game, I probably won't be able to afford the Ags at the point I want. I get the Veil. He has it now. So they have Veil and Ags Veno ult. As we're going to see KuroKy disappear from the surface of the earth. And Alliance taking another tower here for Bulldog.
Yeah, they're looking really good. Again, we see the Echo. Oh,
Earth Split.
Actually, finally gets Earth Split, but it only hits one. And the Blink Dagger is now available. And actually, AA picks up a Veil of Discord. That is going to be sick. If you can get that.
Yeah.
Off
So now that they have those two together, right? The whole point with the discussion about Veno, should he get it or not, is now it doesn't really matter because AA has it. The question is it a better choice for Alliance in this game to get the Veil on the AA and get the Axe upgrade on the Veno, or should they have done it the other way around? Because the AA Axe upgrade is insanely good. But maybe he couldn't afford it this time around though. EGM, yeah, he's done. Lost gets the Dream Coil, and Funnigan Dendi as well. Clear it up.
That's
and
a good
Dendi
point. I
will
mean,
now get his Destiny.
obviously, Ags on AA is way better than Veno. I mean, I think we can safely say that. But like you're talking about, Veno was the one farming, so it's a little bit easier to pick up. I don't know. I can see your point, but I don't think they really had the opportunity to do so. I mean, the way this game is going, AA can still pick up Ags in this game if they don't finish it in time.
It's true. He could work on it, but then again, if that was his plan, maybe he should have got it from the start. We'll see where EGM goes from here and how the game progresses in general. Bulldog is going to pick up Ring of Health, so my first...
Battle Fury.
My first thought is not Battle Fury.
It's probably Linken's though.
Refresher Orb could be a choice, which I do not believe Venomancer Ultimate Stack. This is actually something I'm not completely sure about, but I think they don't. It's a little weird with which Ultimate Stack and which don't. I think Venomancer Ult refreshes if you hit it with Refresher, so you don't have two on you at once, but the cooldown starts over again, or the countdown rather on your hero, the effect. We're going to see if that is Bulldog's plan here, as he is in the Secret Shop right now, so he could buy his Perseverance if that was the plan. He's not doing that, though. So maybe taking this in a different direction, maybe we're looking at a 30-minute Vanguard for the Venomancer.
Well, I think Linken's is the most likely overall. But remains to be seen. I mean, he's not really having that much issue staying alive, I guess, so I guess it's debatable either way. I mean, Venomancer is kind of a weird hero to build on, to be perfectly honest. I mean, once you get that Ags, you already have enough tankability, I feel like, and of course, he has a mech as well on top of that. So I think he can go really damage. I mean, this is a hero that people forget can actually turn into a semi-carry for all intents and purposes.
I don't think he needs to. He really doesn't need to. If you look at the game for what heroes Na'Vi have, and the fact that Alliance have a Tinker and a Luna, I think Bulldog should just go full utility. Not a single damage earning. Just get all the utility you can. He could even get a Blads for his team, I think could be a nice choice, even though they don't have too many melee heroes. Actually, they only have the Axe for that, but just the 5 armor aura is really useful, and that's the kind of stuff that Veno could get in this game. But I wanted to point one more thing out that we haven't talked about yet. How hard it is to push Alliance. They have AA Ultimate,
How
they
dare
have
you?
Tinker.
Don't question yourself, Synderen.
Huh?
You talked about that.
Did we?
Yeah, you did.
I didn't talk about it enough.
Okay.
So, we're getting to the point when Na'Vi need to perform. They need to do something aggressively, and they need to start pushing now. And they just can't, if you look at Alliance's heroes. It's going to be almost impossible for them. Now they're going to TP back to defend, as there's actually a nice Echo Stomp. Dendi with a 2-man Searing Chains.
It's actually a pretty good start for Na'Vi, as Admiral Bulldog pretty much used his ult on one person, but it's going to be 1-for-1 trade at the moment. Kuroki taking a rocket to the face. Phonic, though, stuck in another sandwich. Delicious one. Culling Blade wasn't able to finish him off, though. Ends up being a 2-for-1 in Alliance's favor, despite it actually starting decent. Who bought back?
Dendi died again. Okay. Or not again, rather, but he died so far away from the fight. He had, what did he have on him? He had AA ult on him, and he had Ven ult on him. That was all, I think.
Well,
he just ended up
dying. About that. Yeah, I guess
that's kind of sick. I don't think the Veil was even used in that fight from EGM. So.
Well, that started, like, honestly, you can't ask for too much better start to a fight for Na'Vi, because AA ult was used on one person and was essentially taken out of the fight right off the bat. Of course, he didn't end up dying somehow, which was shocking considering he was dream coiled, but it just shows how much Alliance is up by right now, I suppose. As Loda just farming away to his heart's content. Gonna go before Manta.
It's a game. It's Alliance's game to lose at this point. I feel like a big play from Na'Vi is not going to bring them back now. It needs to be a combination of Na'Vi playing really, really well and Alliance overextending, because Alliance is an experienced team. They know what position they're in the game and how the drafts play up against each other. They know that they've got over the hardest part of the game. Now it's just textbook farming the whole way through. They can farm they're stacking the Ancients for Loda, Tinker can split push the lanes, they can keep defending with Plague Wards, AA ult, and the March, and Na'Vi need to find ganks, which are going to be really hard to find, because by the nature of how Alliance are going to play this, they're going to be all over the place, but only for very short amounts of time. Speaking of which, Ake is going to get opened on.
Dendi, those who I'm watching, bottom lane, they sheeped him immediately and will fall as a result, as we talked about. Lion getting the kill on Luna, as Axe will fall as well, so it ends up being a 2-for-1 in opposite lanes. Dendi going down. I was actually surprised that they killed him, but the sheep stick was more than enough, apparently. I mean, that's one of the things about Ember Spirit. If you catch him out and get a sheep on him or some sort of a stun, he's going to go down, because he's pretty damn squishy.
And I have to say, that was a really nice play from Na'Vi in the mid lane to get that trade. 2-for-1. Sorry? What's that?
Kuroki just jointed the rockets from Tinker.
Yeah, so what happened to them there was Axe got initiated on, and Loda wanted to come in and help. He got echo stomped by the Elder Titan, and Puppies talked him into a hex, as Hvost is so dead.
Beautiful job by S4 predicting. Well, I guess it wasn't that big of a prediction, considering the Illusory Orb is one-way location. Either way, I'll just say, good prediction by S4. Well played, good sir, getting that sheep stick off just in time. But I mean, we're talking about two very elusive heroes, I should say, in Ember Spirit and Puck, going down with really mostly to supports and then Bulldog on the side. I mean, I guess it all starts out with sheep stick.
Oh yeah, of course. Why didn't I think of the pipe? Did you mention that?
No, I'm an idiot.
I mean, of course. Why wouldn't he turn that ring into a pipe? When you look at Navi's lineup, it's the best item in the game.
No, did he have a cloak? I mean, because that's why. Because I don't think
we saw his Ring of Health. We saw him buying the Ring of Health and nothing more after that, I think. And he just basically, I think, almost one-shot this pipe. At least I didn't notice him picking up the hood halfway through.
Oh, Phonic getting sheeped. Yeah. And AA doesn't even need to use his ult, but will do so. Venomancer gets the last hit. Not sure what Phonic's thinking, but Na'Vi just so far behind. They need to take some risks. Actually, he buys back.
Yeah, they were afraid Alliance were going to push on, but they actually already backed out, so that was a little bit of a waste. Or they're going for Roche, but then again, what did Alliance use? They used the AA ult, which is off cooldown in 20 seconds, and they have a great lineup for defending the Roche pit. I don't think Na'Vi are going to be able to sneak this. I want to point out the pipe. The reason it was really weird not to consider that a choice here is when you look at Navi's lineup, it's the best item they can get against them. There's so much magic damage, so little physical on Navi's side. Pipe is going to work wonders for them and allow them to continue executing the strategy that they're looking for, which is just this split push, and then the occasional team fight when they have the advantage, the Pipe is going to win it for them.
Smoke up by Alliance. Well, I would have thought of it if I saw a cloak. I don't really think of a pipe when I see a Ring of Health, honestly. I mean, Battlefield is the first thing I think of, then Vanguard second, and then, yeah, Link.
I'm just a scrub.
That's
a scrub, you know.
That's why you're not professional anymore. Puck uses phase shift. Can he blink out in time? No, he gets sheeped!
Hexed.
And that is a dead Hvost, to say the least, as we have more engagement. The finger, that's actually going to finish somebody else. So it ends up being a fair trade overall. Elder Titan using his ult, but Admiral Bulldog uses his in turn on absolutely nothing. But either way, Alliance should be favored in this fight regardless. We have another buyback, of course. Hvost doing
did
so.
Clip Dendi.
Yep.
He's still going to survive though. This is where Flame Guard is amazing as well. If he's hit by that combo, S4.
He gets his laser off as you're talking about pure damage, but Dendi and Kuroki doing some layered stunning. That's going to be enough to kill Tinker, so being a little bit over-aggressive is S4. They can afford it, I suppose.
That could be costly. He doesn't buy back. He's going to have to use that, else they're going to concede the Rosh, I believe. Unless, okay, Loda has a DD. He hits really damn hard. And Na'Vi, with the nature of the lineup they have, they actually aren't fast at taking Roshan because they're lacking that carry who can do it. The only carry they have to deal damage to Roshan is Ember Spirit, who has terrible tank ability and doesn't really want to go in melee range with the Rosh. So someone else has to tank it for Dendi, but then at the same time, he's really exposed by being melee in the middle of the pit. And they don't even try it. So Alliance are just spotting them out, stalling it out. So we have a Blink Dagger on Bulldog. I'm not sure if you called that out. And, well, they are going to try it. And this could backfire really hard for Na'Vi. EGM is in position, lock and load.
If AA gets his ult off with his Venom Link, oh my god, this is going to be so sick.
Crystals everywhere.
AA is going to hit. Phase Shift, of course, used to dodge it.
Too late.
Roshan's going to go down one way or another. You have to get it. Denny's going to pick it up. Here we have the initiation. Eclipse. Oh my god, Lion goes down before he can do anything. 2 dead, 3 dead. Of course, Aegis is going to be used. Funnick. This is a team. This is going to be a team wipe if they're not careful. Dendi trying to get out. He does to survive for Na'Vi.
For now, Blink.
For now.
From S4, he has the Hex. He stands still.
No, his Blink's on cooldown still.
Yeah, he couldn't
Either
see
way,
them get the end there.
completely one team fight. Aegis used right off the bat, so not a whole lot gained for Na'Vi in that fight.
Well, still, S4 at least had to buy back for that, so I have to say Alliance came out on top again, but this is attributed to the fact that they're leading as much as they are. If this was an even game, that would have been a costly mistake for Alliance to lose S4 like they did beforehand. But they're just comfortably in the lead, and now going to be forcing down this mid-tier tier 3, sorry. And I think Na'Vi are going to lose at least one side here. Dendi is way too far in.
He's getting jumped on. Oh, nice swap by Puppey. He's going to take the AA blast, but of course, Ember Spirit will fall
going to get himself
anyway.
Killed, maybe.
No, he'll be
Battle Hunger on him as well, Rocket.
Oh my goodness. Didn't think they'd actually bother. But they're going to take out the racks.
I think Na'Vi are going to call this. They're going to lose 2 sides. They have almost no chance of defending at this point. Alliance are fully healthy. They have pipe ready, they have mech ready. They have an insane base breaking lineup with the Luna as well as the March. But Na'Vi are still... They're not conceding this yet, which... I can't really blame them for fighting, but at the same time, these two teams, when they play off against each other, they usually know when the game is over. And I feel like this is that time when you don't, you don't exhaust yourself mentally by playing on and just trying in a game that's almost impossible and just drain yourself. Realize the game is over, move on to the next one. Na'Vi, of course, did win the first one, so now we're tied at 1-1, and now they can get their focus together for the third game, and I'm just really happy we get a third one. And
Absolutely.
I hope we're going to get a combination of Game 1 and Game 2, and in the sense that, to me, it's not that important that the game is really long. The cool thing is to see the drafts and the heroes playing together and the execution being good. And the first game, Na'Vi really got some amazing team fights. In this game, it seemed like it was Alliance. So the games haven't really been that close, which I'm hoping to see in Game 3, regardless of how long the game is. I just want to see more of this really good Dota from both teams.
And I think we can all agree that the main reason Na'Vi didn't win that is because Kuroki could not finish his Aghanim Scepter in time. So close. So close.
That would have totally turned the game around.
I mean, just think of that 200 AoE Finger of Death. Oh my god, so good. So good. Okay, anyway.
So, okay, really quickly before we go to the break, just want to, again, if we have quite a few new viewers tuning in, I believe we do after the first game, we do have a raffle going on right now where we're raffling away 3 G602 mice from Logitech, which is one of the sponsors of the tournament. To participate, go over to the Facebook page, give them a like, and write something appreciative about the tournament in your own language. And then we'll be reading out 3 random winners at the end of the broadcast today in whatever language you guys chose. It's going to be really interesting if I have to read in something like Spanish or whatever. We're going to see whatever we randomize.
No,
and Sunsfam's going to read them out as well.
I want to do the Arabic.
And yeah, in Arabic as well. It should be good. But at least check that out. It would be really cool if you guys wanted to be a part of it and show the support so that Logitech gets more